What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to another market analysis. It's 2025, guys. Happy New Year. Let's make this year our most profitable year. That's the goal. Be better the next year and the next year and the next year and the next year, right? Improving every day, 1% every day, 1% every month, 1% every year. Just keep improving, okay? So with that being said, we're back on the charts. I usually don't like to trade from December to January, or at least the last 2 weeks of December into like the first 2 weeks of January. Now we're past that moment. We had NFP last week. Let me turn this music down a little bit. So we had NFP last week. NFP didn't really do too much and didn't cause that much of a big spike in terms of, as we can see it on the chart. But we do have CPI this week, which is the first CPI of the year, and PPI, which is the first PPI of the year as well. We have PPI on Tuesday, and then we have CPI on Wednesday. Okay. Also, we have retail sales and unemployment claims on Thursday as well. So pretty good week for news. A lot of things we got to watch around these times. As you can see, it's usually around 8:30 for the CPI and the PPI. And then we also have CPI for the pound as well. So pretty good news. We should see a lot of volatility this week. Of course, it is New Year, so any of the news that comes out early on this year, it will create a lot of speculation in the markets. So be careful for spread or any like manipulations, any spikes. Make sure you're watching your orders and make sure that you are not losing trades due to spread and news weakening you out. All right, so that's one thing you want to pay attention to. Now, getting onto the charts and just going on with the actual technical analysis of things. What are we looking for? So here we got on DXY. We're going to start on DXY first, and we're going to talk about the overall strength of the dollar. The dollar right now is strong. Okay, on the higher time frame, we do see we have this huge reaccumulation right here, huge reaccumulation that gave us this spike towards the upside. After that, we have this major leg towards the upside here, and then we can see we have this accumulation, right, which is just going to lead us more. We can see that we were accumulating orders until we see the market just spike towards the upside. We have a accumulation down here, and inside of here, let me zoom in for you guys real quick. Inside of here, you can see we have our minor accumulation that happened here, and then since then we have reacu going towards the upside. Now, what I'm expecting here is I am expecting us to at least get underneath. One second, guys. 1 second. Okay, so I'm expecting us to at least go underneath this low right here, right? So, one of two things. I want to see either we reaccumulate, right? So we continue seeing those reaccumulations. So that would mean seeing fake distributions at the highs and invalidation of those and just continue the market higher. Or we come down, take out these lows here. Right, come down, take out these lows, and get into this price action before we see any more movements towards the upside. Right, we just filled our imbalance, and right now I am looking for us to target these highs. So with us having a bullish dollar right now, it doesn't look like we have any weakness at the moment. So with us having a bullish dollar, that means anything that is opposing to the dollar will be going down. Right, so that means EU will be going down, GU will be going down. What else? AU will be going down, NU will be going down, and then anything favoring the dollar will be going up. So USD CAD, which is one of the pairs that we're going to talk about, you're going to see that USD CAD, one of the pairs that we talk about, you're going to see how bullish that is right now. And USD CHF, USD JPY, any of the pairs like that you might see that is paired with the dollar, you're going to see that going higher, right? Because the dollar is strong at the moment. So that is one thing that you can pay attention to kind of keep you leveled out and knowing what you're doing on these pairs as far as like overall direction for your other pairs as well. That's how we use DXY to just know what the direction and how strong the dollar is compared to our other currency that we are trading it with, right? So now that we've covered DXY, let's go to EU. Let's cover the actual technical price action that's been going on. We know that we are in a bearish market cycle on the higher time frame. We can see we have this huge leg to the downside. That's not what we want to focus on, right? Let's focus on the price action that is relevant at the moment. We have these distributions. You can see we have 3 distributions at the top of each high. We have 1, 2, 3. We have a distribution at the top of each high, which also we have a bigger distro. All right, that is our big distro. Now you can see what the market did. We came here and we mitigated the last distribution of this big, just this big cycle right here that was created from sellers. Now, since then, look at the down push to the downside, right? We can see direction right now is in favor of sellers, and we can see that the market has been aggressively moving towards the downside. Now, honestly, I expect this to come and get into this institutional price point at the solid 1, right? 1.000. So that's where I expect this to come into before we see any reactions, any pullbacks or anything like that. Now, as far as, let's go ahead and zoom in. Let's talk about the order flow and everything like that, right? I actually recorded me going through this and actually marking up the charts, but something was wrong with the audio, so I had to re-record it. But let's talk about it, right? What has happened? We see a good setup here that happened on EU, right? Here's our manipulation. That's the manipulation of the highs. Here's our mitigation right here. You can see this candle right here, this impulsive candle mitigated that manipulation that took out those highs right there, that took out that liquidity. So that's our zone right here. You can see we have a good reaction from that zone and the market goes lower, right? Taps it twice and it goes lower. Since then, what is our next manipulation? This right here would be our mitigation of that manipulation. So this would be your next area. This is why I have the 50% and the open of it right here. Now, if I was to take a limit order on this, it would be somewhere up here. We're not going to set an active limit order on this just yet, not at the moment. Right now, what I want to see is 1 of 2 things. We're not taking a sell from NFP right here because we have the liquidity sitting up here. Now, one thing I will say is we can use this to our advantage, the NFP. So 1 or 2 things is going to happen here. Either we're going to continue going lower, so we're going to see accumulations that fail. This is the first thing that I'm going to look for. I'm going to look for accumulations that fail, and I'm going to use that as a catalyst to take my sell orders, right? And we're going to continue selling the market lower that way. Now, if we do not see those accumulations fail, so let's say we see an accumulation that comes in and the market mitigates it and we continue higher, that's cool. Once we get to this NFP, I'm going to expect some type of reaction from this area. So let's say we see something like this. If we get a distribution here, I'm going to wait to see how we react from this accumulation. So if we get a bounce and we continue going higher and we invalidate that distribution that mitigates the NFP, we will take buys and we will take a counter trend towards the upside. That's the only way I will take a counter trend. I am not going to take a counter trend off of the first accumulation I see. I have to see a reaccumulation that takes us higher, right? Off after the mitigation, right? And then we just continue to market higher, targeting this big area right here. Okay. So that's how I will play EU. But first thing I'm looking for, guys, is selling opportunities. So either we continue to see those redistros to the downside, or maybe let's say tomorrow we have Asian session come in, we not mitigate, but we manipulate, that's the word I'm looking for, and we create a new low. We'll take that and we'll just continue selling it that way, right? That is going to be the best continuation moves to the downside. One of those 2 things, or like I said, if we're going to take a counter trend, it has to happen that way. I am not looking for a limit order right here, just because of these highs right here. So that's going to be EU. Now, as far as GU, moving on to GU here. Now, with GU, what are we going to do, right? So GU is kind of like the same thing. I'm still looking for sales to the downside. Let me go ahead and zoom out and kind of show you guys the price action as well. You can see that on the higher time frame, from this high to this low, we are kind of bearish. We do have a leg going towards the upside from this low to this high right here. But one thing that you want to see and you want to notice is the fact that we invalidated this reaccumulation. Now, seeing us invalidate that huge reaccumulation is what's kind of showing me that potentially we're going to continue going lower. I don't see any demand down here or any reason for the market to accumulate right here, just based off the fact that we have liquidity underneath these lows. So honestly, I'm expecting us to break this low here and just start that overall selling pressure to the downside. Now, one thing I will say is we do have an institutional price point down here. And that's something I was supposed to actually put in here. The 1.2 solid, right underneath these lows, we do have an institutional price point. So do not be surprised if you see a quick bounce back to get us back into these areas. Now, this will be my target. Now let's zoom in and let's talk about what's going on inside of this move going to the downside. So after we got this distribution here, you can see the market going lower, and this was election day here that we got this move in that supply zone. The market kept going lower, the market kept going lower. We're seeing mitigations right here. Market keeps going lower, and I'm just going to continue following this bearish market cycle, guys. Honestly, I do have this imbalance zone that I'm looking to see if we can come up into. Now, I will buy into that. I'm not going to sell from that. So what do I mean? So the same move that we're looking for on EU, we're going to look for on GU, right? So either I'm going to continue selling this, as in we're going to see that first accumulation that's going to come out. We want to invalidate that, and we're going to take the sales from that and continue this market lower, right? That's going to be the ultimate play. That's the most thing that I'm looking for. Or either that, or we see Asian session create some liquidity above its highs, and we see a manipulation of that, and we see the market create something like this. We're going to take that mitigation, continue the market lower, right? We want to look for sales first. Sellers are in control of this market. Now, on the opposite side, looking on like a counter trend play, we're going to see an accumulation. We want to see that accumulation give us a move to the upside, maybe a reaction from this area, and then mitigate that. Once we get that first mitigation and the market continues going higher, maybe invalidating here, then we could take this to fill imbalance or potentially getting us back into up here. We do not want to fall for a fake accumulation that potentially wants to get invalidated. So if we're going to take a reversal, we need to see that reversal at least create an accumulation that can at least invalidate this high. Once we invalidate this high and I see reaccumulations, so let's say we go above here and I see a reaccumulation 1, 2, 3 drive, market goes lower, we invalidate that, we will take that higher to get back into the supply zone, right? Because here there is no supply right here. Okay, this is just an imbalance zone. So if we can catch a potential reversal. So seeing a distro, we can catch a potential reversal into this area here. That would be a good play here on GU. So either one of those two things that I'm looking for is either getting us back and catching that reversal play into that imbalance zone, potentially back into the supply zone, or looking for sales. Looking for sales is going to be the top thing. That's going to be the main thing. That's the first thing we're looking for, is selling opportunities. Okay, so just keep that in mind. All right, EU, GU, USD CAD that I was talking about earlier. Now, as far as the price action on USD CAD, I kind of don't like it. We're just kind of ranging. So I want to wait till we get out of this range. I don't trade ranges at all. So I'm going to wait until we get out of this range. And then potentially if we just break out and we still see like buyers just taking this market higher, then we'll take the mitigations higher, right? But as far as what I want to talk about on USD CAD, I just want to talk about the direction. Look at this direction on this market right now and just look at the legs that we've been seeing. This is a bullish market, right? It's a bullish market, and this is what I was talking about when we were comparing the DXY and the strength of the dollar. With the dollar being strong right now, you're going to see pairs like USD CAD, right? USD CAD, USHEF. You're going to see pairs like USHEF and like USD JPY. You're going to see pairs like this start to explode higher, right? Make sure you're paying attention to that. Find one of these pairs, your best one that you like, and you can trade that with the dollar being strong. You can take easy buys going higher. So in a case like this on like USD CAD, since the dollar is strong right now, all you need to focus on is reaccumulations, right? Focus on bullish reaccumulations. Look for the manipulations of the lows. So for example, Asian session comes in, manipulation, break of the high, take that, take it higher. That's probably an easy 1 to 3, 1 to 4 right there on that play. Or you see a distribution, right? Do not fall for it unless the distribution goes down and breaks some structure or whatever the case may be. But if it's just a flat out distribution by itself that hasn't done anything, wait for the market to either mitigate it and continue a cycle from it. If we see a cycle from it, that's a different thing. But if you see the market come in here and just break that, use that to your advantage. Take that as a buying opportunity, right? And take the market higher. Okay. So that is USD CAD. Gold. I'm still bullish on gold. You can see I'm gonna talk about this area in a second, but I'm still bullish on gold. We're failing to make new lows. As you can see, after this pullback, this mitigation back into this area here, we're failing to make new lows. This is the main low right now that we've made from this push to the downside after we invalidate this area. Now, as I zoom out, you can see that this market is still bullish. Right, this is still a bullish market. Even though we invalidated this demand zone right here, we still have a lot of buyers in this market, and it didn't really affect the trend of this market at all. Right, that just signified that we could potentially seeing a retracement. But after breaking this low, and we can see that we had this immediate buyback with failure to make new lows, that's basically telling me that buyers are still in control of this market, and we can still see buyers to the upside. Now, honestly, the next point here is I'm looking for us to get back into the 2,750. So zooming in here and just looking at the price action and what's going on, what have I been looking for? So we can see we have this manipulation to the downside right here. Another manipulation to the downside as the market is going higher. Look how we're manipulating the lows. Even right here, which is our latest manipulation, right here, which is our latest manipulation, is NFP, which took out Asian lows, and then we got to push to the upside. So basically, I'm just looking for a simple, just maybe seeing accumulations, just see some type of buyers in here tomorrow during New York session, and we will take that higher to the upside. Okay, pretty simple. Flat out. Okay, that is gold. Now moving on, US 30. What are we looking for here on US 30? So one thing I want to talk about here is I want to talk about the higher time frame first. So I want you guys to pay attention to this area right here. This is a major area. This is where a majority of the big money, big buyers got into this market, is around this price point. After that, you can see we have smaller demand within that leg, right? This is one push to the upside. So the reason why I'm saying this is do not be surprised if we get a huge distribution here that leads us back to this area, right? That could potentially happen, okay? Just understand that. Now, just playing the inside, right? Now that we understand that, let's play the inside, right? Seeing that we are coming down, after we gave this distribution on this institutional price point at 4,500, right? We got the distribution. We see this push to the downside. We invalidated this area here. And we're seeing the market go lower. That's cool. What can we do from here? Well, now we're still inside of this demand zone. We're still tapping into this demand zone. Honestly, I would honestly see us break this area. We are at 4,200, which is another institutional price point. But just seeing how the market is failing to break any highs from this area, and we are kind of just failing to go higher, I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow we get like some type of fake out to the upside, manipulation up, and then we see a push to the downside. Okay, I will be looking for something like that, or just maybe looking for an accumulation. We'll see what happens and how the market responds to this. The market still is not even open yet, so we'll see what happens tomorrow morning at New York session at equities open. But what I am expecting is either we're going to buy from this area or we're going to sell from this area. So I'm either looking for an accumulation that gets us a valid accumulation that takes us higher, or a fake out. So let's say we build some liquidity, a fake out to the upside, a push lower, a mitigation, and we take it lower, targeting this next demand zone. That'll be our next target, and we'll look to see what the market does inside of here. Between this is kind of no man's land, so I'm not really going to be trying to do anything between here aggressively. I'm just going to be trying to play whatever we get on the lower time frame here, whatever the narrative or whatever the move of the day is, you're going to kind of see it once equities open, you're going to see that first initial candle that comes out of equities open is usually a spike to one side of the market. And then after that, you're going to see which side of the market that the buyers or the sellers pick, right? You're going to see that here. If we get an impulsive to the upside, then potentially this could be a bigger accumulation. But if you see the market is weakening as it goes higher and we are just falling down, then most likely this area here does not have enough buying pressure, which I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said, just look at where we at, right? Even right here is a better buying area at the moment because we have more potential buyers here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we come back into this either. So that's why this here is a valid area to look into first, and then overall just looking into this area here. Now, last but not least, one thing I do want to say, if you guys have any pairs or any currencies, stocks or crypto, I am going to look at Bitcoin a little bit. We'll talk about Bitcoin, stocks, crypto, or anything like that you want me to cover. I will add it to the list here and I will cover it, right? I have indices here, I have stocks here, and then I have just extra. This is not my list. This is not my trading list. This is to cover for the analysis. So as you guys give me more pairs, I will just add more pairs here and we'll cover it, and I'll just cover them one by one. So right now indices only have US 30. If you want me to add NAS or XPX, let me know. Extra pairs or like more symbols, just let me know what symbols and stuff like that you guys want to see. Let me know down in the Discord or in the comments. This will be on YouTube. So let me know and I will add it, and as well as stocks. But for stocks right now, the only one I got is Tesla. And let's talk about Tesla. So let's go on the 4 hour here. So I have two areas on Tesla. I'm going to give you the most safest area. Your safest area is going to be here, right? Anywhere around the 250 to here. So this big move area here. This here is your best buying point, right? If you want to be aggressive on Tesla and you want to find a good buying point on Tesla, this would be where you buy it at. Okay, inside of here. Why? And I want to show you why is because that is where our last buyers came in. So I want to show you guys the power of these accumulations and these reaccumulations, just looking at just market cycle in general. So I had different markups in this, but I want you guys to see something. For those of you who have the eyes to see it, you're going to see what I'm talking about. For those of you who don't, you probably won't. But here's an accumulation right here. Here's a reaccumulation right here. Here's a distribution right here. There's a redistribution. Here's an accumulation. Here's a reaccumulation. And then here's another reaccumulation as the market goes higher, right? As you guys can see, look at the schematics that I just spotted out in there. Here's a distro. Here's a redistribution. That's an accumulation. So that's how the market moves, right? Accumulation, reaccumulation, distribution, redistribution, accumulation, reaccumulation. So if you guys didn't know, the chart looks like this. So it's accumulation. So the market starts out. This is where buyers get in. Reaccumulation. This is where like late buyers get in, right? In here. So this is the first accumulation. That's the reaccumulation. Then after that, people want to take profits. So that's where the distribution comes in, the market goes down. If there's enough buyers here at the reaccumulation, the market will just reaccumulate again and go higher. If there's not, this is where you get your redistribution that goes back to the origin here where initial buyers got in and they accumulate again to go higher, right? So let's say another accumulation, market goes higher, another reaccumulation, and then the market goes higher. But even as the market going higher, you can see the market's creating low, high, low, high. This is still a bullish market. Even in a bullish market, you're going to have distribution. Look at this: distribution, redistribution, accumulation, right? Now I want you to look back into the price. What happened? We have distribution, redistribution, accumulation, reaccumulation, distribution, redistribution, accumulation, reaccumulation, and another reaccumulation. So there was just enough buyers in this point to take this market higher. So now I want you guys to see something else. Accumulation, reaccumulation. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3 drives, right? That's our accumulation. This is our reaccumulation, right? So this is why this area here is going to be your best buying point right here. Now, let's zoom in to this area of demand right here. This is still a good buying point. Okay, I do expect the market to come down here and probably give a small reaction. Maybe you could target the 400, but do not be aggressive. Right, this area here is for my scalpers or anyone just looking for a play. Now, once the market gets in here, look on the lower time frame, of course. Make sure you have some type of entry or confirmation entry that shows that buyers are getting in here. If the market just spikes down here, do not just get in. Right, wait until you see some type of buyers start getting into this market, and maybe we see a manipulation on the 1 minute, and you can take a 1 minute entry and try to take it higher. Low risk because you're near all-time highs. Right, maybe get a pullback into the 400. That's maybe an easy take profit, and the market starts going lower. But do not be surprised if you see this market start pulling back, give a reaction right here, and then just start pulling back. This honestly is a good selling point, especially if we break this low. Once we break this low, or if we break this low, I would continue selling this market until we get down here. Okay, so that is Tesla. Let's see. Let's go into Bitcoin. Let's see what's going on crypto. Here's our distribution on crypto. Not surprised. Potential distribution, but most likely our distribution on crypto. Now, I mean, for my people that's in my Discord, we obviously know where this market is coming to next. And it's going to be this reaccumulation right here. So I would expect a fall down here to about 70K, 80K. This is where I believe buyers will get into this market again before we see another leg. The thing I was just talking about, guys, just a minute ago, you can see it on crypto as well. Here's our accumulation, here's our reaccumulation, and here's our potential distribution. This might last a little bit longer. We might create a bigger distro, probably get some more highs before we see a push to the downside. So we might range here a little bit more. Now, one thing I want you to pay attention to is how we do this distribution. So if you see this market give us a distribution like this, where it is making price action like this, most likely we're not going to make it down here. Okay. Why? Because that means sellers are getting in at the highs, or sellers are selling the market at the highs, but we have people buying it up, right? So we have people actually accumulating off of selling orders. So that means we still have people willing to buy this market here at the 80,000 level, if you see that. But if we see a normal distribution where we see this distro, after seeing a distro like this, the market should just drop and then give a pullback where you have buyers getting their orders filled, and then another drop, right? We do not want to see, if sellers are struggling and we see the struggle to the downside, that means we have potential buyers that are still willing to buy the market here. So honestly, at least I would see us coming down to 80,000, hopefully, and then that would be a good buying point to take this market higher if we see that. Okay, so that is going to be it for this market analysis, guys. I will see you guys during the live calls. Remember, live calls are on Wednesdays and Thursdays. I will see you guys on a live call on Wednesday. I possibly may do a live call before that, just to talk to you guys a little bit more. But I'll be sending my personal outlooks, like, you know, my personal like limit orders and stuff like that inside the Discord. Right now I don't have any, so if you haven't seen any, I don't have any right now. Today is my first day actually looking to the live charts. I've been back testing for the past month. So mostly trading GU. I'm telling you guys the pairs that I'm mostly going to be trading for this first month. I'm mostly trading GU. I'm going to be trading GU, gold, and US30. So those are going to be the common things that you're going to see. Of course, I will send other pairs if I see a good setup, but I'm most likely not going to be trading those. The pairs that I'm personally trading is going to be GU, US30, and gold. If I send another pair, it's just a good area that I think you should be buying from off of that pair. If somebody asks me for an analysis, of course, you guys ask me for analysis on another pair that I'm not trading, and I'll send, you know, where I would buy it at, but doesn't mean I'm physically buying those pairs. The pairs that I'm going to be physically buying, if you see me send limit orders on those, is going to be GU, US30, and gold, right? That's going to be it for now. Those are the pairs that I've been back testing the most for the past month. So those are the ones I'm kind of familiar with the price action. I understand the price action a lot more. So those are the pairs I want to be more aggressive on. All right. Or the assets I want to be more aggressive on. So that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, any concerns, please let me know. It's 2025, guys. Let's make this a great and profitable year. I will see you guys in the next one. I will see you guys in the Discord. For those of you that are in the Discord, peace out.